Alright guys, I'm glad you can join me again. We're just taking a quick ride to the Target store. I just bought this Ryker on Thursday night, so I haven't had too much time with it. I'm just gonna go near the Target and maybe fill up with gas. Gas mileage is a lot less than my F800 GT that I had before this, the BMW F800 GT. That thing did at least 50 miles to the gallon. This thing is down to 30-ish miles to the gallon, but the engine's pretty new too. It only has 110 miles. That's it. So I'm sure as the engine breaks in, even though it's supposed to be pre-broken in, but I'm sure as I go through a couple of fuel tanks, it's gonna get better. But at the moment, if I go to fuel stat, it's telling me that I'm doing 29.8 miles per gallon. It was up to like 30, 33 before. Now it's down to 29.8. It just depends on what kind of mood I'm in, I guess, if I'm hitting the gas too much or not. So but yeah, I mean, so far I'm liking it. I'm just I'm not sure if it's me or, you know, the handlebar still seems a little bit off. So I'm gonna have to go take this bike back. And let them know to fix it, because it is, yeah, it's just a little bit, just doesn't feel right. So I'm not sure what's going on there. This is something that I don't want to deal with after spending so much money on a machine like this. You know, it should have been, I bought this from Mountain Motorsports Roswell, and even though those guys are a nice bunch of guys, but I just feel like they should not have rushed it. They should have taken their time. I certainly was in no hurry to pick up the bike that day, so they should have taken their time and made sure this thing rode just fine, you know. So yeah, not sure. I mean, it's very minute, but it's minute enough that I can tell. If I can tell, then you know, I'm uncomfortable. I can tell. So they tried fixing it, and they did a lot of it, because it was quite a bit more, and it's still a little bit more left which they need to do. So I'm gonna actually take it to the different I'm gonna take it to Marietta this time and see if they can fix it. Other than that, I am loving every bit of this Can Am. I can tell you that. This thing is exactly what I hoped it was going to be. So I'm pretty happy. I'm actually pretty happy. So yeah, I mean, like I said, it's my first time on a three-wheeler, so it is different. That's for sure. It is quite different. It is not what you expect. It took me about a day to get used to it, but I wouldn't say that I'm an expert three-wheeler right now, because, you know, sometimes I'm still going for the clutch and the brake lever and the clutch lever. So I would say that I'm still getting used to it. I'm still not taking turns as fast as I could. I'm not saying like race level turns, but, you know, just normal turns like you would in a car or any other two-wheeler. You would take a turn, not a 90-degree turn, but just like an average turn. You would take it faster. Here I'm just being a little cautious. I keep thinking the rear end's gonna slide out, which I don't know why. I don't even have it in sport mode at the moment. So but yeah, so far so good. Just need to get this handlebar thing sorted out. I hope they can. I mean, it's so minute that I might yeah, the only way I can tell is when I'm going straight and I look at the gauge down and I can tell it's ever so slightly tilted to the left. So so yeah, I mean, that's the only way I can tell, is that minute. But it's the whole bar. Like, you see this bar at the bottom, you have your handlebars mounted on it and the gauge is mounted on this bar right here. That whole bar is a few millimeters to the left, and when I'm tracking straight, so it needs to be a little bit to the right. Because I mean, imagine if you're on two wheels and your handlebar is ever so slightly to the left, even if it's a few millimeters, that's gonna make you uncomfortable a little bit, because unknowingly, if I straighten out the handlebar, you know, without thinking, I haven't done it yet, thank God, but if without thinking I'm on the highway, I do it, that could, you know, that could potentially be a oh shit moment for me. So speaking of oh shit moments, I've already had a couple of them, because I was going for the front brake and the front brake by the hand, and I was getting close to the cars and the walls when I was parking in the garage, and I'm like, oh shit, where's the brake? And then I realized it's down by the foot. So yeah, I've already had a couple of these oh shit moments, but you know, no harm. It was all laughs and giggles and all of that, but that's only because I was lucky nothing happened. But it could have very well be the opposite case. So yeah, I'm pretty I need to get with the program on the three-wheeler, but yeah, it's so far so good. I'm pretty happy though. I think it's neat. You can kind of relax. I mean, you know, I've been riding two wheels since I was, I don't know, since I was like 14 or 15 years old. I didn't even have, you know what, I'm gonna just skip ahead from Target. I'll catch it on the way back. It looks really busy, man. Everybody's out in Atlanta shopping or doing whatever. So in a way, it's good to see people are getting out, but it's still scary though. It's still scary. So yeah, I do like the fact that so I've been riding two wheels since before I even had a license. But my daughter's 10. She wants to start, you know, she would love to ride with me, but she's a little scared, and so is her mom, and she doesn't like motorcycles at all, let alone two wheels. So this was a bit of a compromise. This was not my first choice, but I've always liked Can-Ams a lot, but definitely not my first choice. My first choice was a Yamaha FJR 1300 ES, and I was looking for a used one, a 2016 model, because they did all those changes, had the 6-speed transmission, cornering lights, all of that. And the number one thing was for me was cruise control. You know, I needed cruise control to rest my hand if I go on a longer ride. Second option, if I couldn't find a Yamaha, because I couldn't, because I was being specific with the years, was the Kawasaki Concourse 14. And I wasn't being very specific on that. I just needed a later model. I did not want, you know, the local stores had like 2003 and 2004 models, and I did not want that. I wanted like a, you know, I would go as far as like 3-4 years old, even 5, because those are pretty solid machines. I was looking for something with shaft drive, less maintenance. My BMW F800 GT was belt drive, so that was fairly low maintenance too. Although when you did have to change the belt, those BMW belts, I gotta tell you, they're not cheap, because I mean, they're made out of these special materials and got like Kevlar in there and God knows what. So yeah, so this, I was looking for almost 2-3 weeks, a month, but ever since I walked into the store to look at an old Concours, maybe to just test ride it, because I haven't ridden one. So I figured, okay, you know what, let me just test ride an old 04 Concours. These guys, I'm sorry, an 07 Concours local dealership had. And when I looked at it, I looked at the Ryker. I was like, man, I've only seen them on YouTube channels. And you know, when they first launched it, I sat and I saw this thing, and I kind of liked it. You know, it was pretty cool. So I just went ahead. Instead of waiting, I just went ahead and just went ahead with this. So I like it though. I like it. I think my daughter's gonna enjoy it too. You know, that's the most important thing, is I want her to enjoy it as well. I know I'm gonna enjoy it, so I hope she does too. Alright guys, I'm gonna go ahead and gas up. I'll end this short video here. I do appreciate you guys tuning in. Like I mentioned, I'm just waiting on a bunch of parts from the dealership to come in so I can go ahead and install them and show you how an average man does installing his own parts, because I'm not a very handy man. I'm not a very tool savvy person, so it's going to be interesting. But I do appreciate it. Stay tuned. I'm going to bring some more riding videos as well, and until next time guys, be safe.